I went back in time and I found a shitty movie that I hope we will never have to review on this show because it's so far back in time. It is, see if you can guess it. It is a movie based on a video game about a fighting championship where representatives from different places come together and fight each other, and the last one standing wins life and freedom and stuff for
so I think the obvious
their universe.
The implication is Mortal Kombat, which means it's not. I'm going to take a stab and say it's like a Street Fighter movie I've never heard of.
It is a Tekken one that you've never heard of.
Oh, Tekken.
It came out in 2010. It's rated R.
Ooh.
We follow this guy called Jin Kazama. It's spelled Jin, not like the alcohol, but it's very confusing when other characters just yell Jin all the time. Sounds like my life most nights. Anyway, Jin, picture like Demolition Man, right? It's the end of the world and corporations have taken over the world, and there's like 8 corporations that represent like nations, basically. There's 8 different nations.
So current year, got it.
Run by like Walmart. And Jin is kind of a pirate guy that runs the stuff for the black market, and he's selling stuff, trying to take down the man. And bad guys kill his mom because reasons. And she spent most of his life training him to be a great fighter, one of like the best fighter, but she doesn't want him to participate in the fighting event that saves the universe or something. But because she dies, he says, well, I know what I'm going to do. And he fights in the great fight that saves the universe or something. He meets a bunch of strange characters, but they're not cool at all. They all look like normal humans, and that was really boring. They have somewhat unique costumes, and that was okay. It was very, very one-sided, let's say, in the costume department. The female characters have very spicy costumes, and the guys have like 90s or 2000s flames on their shorts.
I've always wanted to fight as Guy Fieri. What's the name of the guy? There's a guy in Tekken. Hold the phone.
Nope.
I don't remember his name. You would recognize him as soon as you see him. He's the old guy with the white hair that's like winged out, kind of like Wolverine's hat. And the costuming or makeup, I guess, worked. The costuming department or makeup department worked really, really hard to make his hair look cool like it does in the game, and that was decent. But literally everybody else is just a normal person, which kind of sucks because I remember Tekken as being like the game with the jaguar guy or the bear that is wrestling the kung fu guy, or like really crazy characters. So that was disappointing. There's the old guy and his son kind of looks like a vampire, but he isn't. And he's the bad guy. And there's a lot of talk about why he's a bad guy. And I kind of didn't really care. There's a lot of talk. It was literally like fight and dialogue dump, and then fight and then dialogue dump. And the fights weren't really great because it was a lot of 2 or 3 second cuts of action, like one punch, and then it would cut to the crowd, and it was like the same B footage of the crowd. I want to say a legit third of the movie is just B footage of crowds watching the fight that saves the universe or whatever. Like there's people in Times Square or something similar. There's people in bars that we haven't met. We just follow this one crowd in a bar that's cheering for the good guy because he's the chosen one. There's a lot of exploitation of the costuming that just feels really gross. It's rated R, and despite 2 quick shots and maybe a word or two, I would have sworn it was a PG-13 movie out of the 2000s. Like, I don't remember really anything that was like, oh, that's why this is rated R. I don't even remember any violence. Like, it should have been a PG-13 for all of the obvious reasons. You would attract more people, younger people that might be like, I'm going to go watch a shitty video game movie. And you get like that extra money. But because it's an R, you immediately lose money. So nothing about this makes sense.
Where does it fall in the hierarchy of bad video game movies? What is it next to?
I would say this is pretty low. I have a higher regard for the Resident Evil movies than you do. I would watch all 8 of those or 9 of those again before watching this. This is really low. I almost gave up on it and just said that I couldn't finish it, but I didn't. Yeah, I have a much higher opinion of shitty video game movies than you do. I liked the Silent Hill ones for what they were. They're definitely shitty, but I kind of liked them for being a shitty movie.
I just need to put in a catheter before I go watch those.
There's nothing here that I liked.
Yeah.
There wasn't a joke. There wasn't a line of dialogue that was delivered well. Like the guy playing Jin, I'm willing to bet has a language barrier that made his performance pretty stiff. All the jank. There might have been 1 or 2 quick shots in the fight that I was like, oh, that was actually kind of cool. That's it. That's all I got from a positive.
Yikes.
Maybe you can count as a positive. The lighting in most scenes felt like a shitty Next Generation episode. So maybe there's some nostalgia there, but I'd rather just watch Next Generation. Like, I'm really trying here. Yeah, bad.
Not good.
Very bad.